I never imagined I'd be the kind of woman people whisper about. But this is my story, and it still shakes me to my core whenever I remember how it all ended. I'm sharing this here because I can't tell anyone in my real life. The shame is just too heavy, and the memories won't let me sleep. I met Daniel first. He was calm, responsible, and predictable, the kind of man my family instantly adored. He worked as a civil servant, paid his bills on time, and spoke about building a future as if it were a schedule already written down. To him, love was about safety and security. Then I met Victor. Victor was fire. He laughed loudly, took risks, and made me feel more alive than I ever had before. He owned a small business, dressed impeccably, and always smelled like pure confidence. With him, life felt exciting, a sweet kind of danger. I loved them both, but in completely different ways. That should have been my first warning sign. Daniel proposed first. My family pushed me hard. He's a good man. They'd say you won't find anyone better. Marriage isn't just about feelings. So I said yes. We had a small traditional introduction, and everyone was ecstatic. Plans were already underway for the wedding. But I didn't cut Victor off. Instead, I started to lie. I told Victor that Daniel was just a family friend. I told Daniel that Victor was just a co-worker. Slowly, my lies grew teeth and began to bite. Then, something insane happened. Victor proposed too. He told me he couldn't imagine his life without me, that he would die if he lost me. I panicked, and instead of finally telling the truth, I said yes again. That was the exact moment everything started to go terribly wrong. Because of distance and work schedules, both weddings happened in different towns, months apart. Daniel's wedding was first. It was simple, clean, and respectful. I became Mrs. Daniel. 3 months later, I traveled, claiming it was for work, and quietly married Victor in another state. I became Mrs. Victor too. 2 husbands, 2 homes, 2 massive lies. I actually told myself I could manage it. I convinced myself that no one would ever find out. I was so wrong. The pregnancy came quickly. When the test turned positive, my heart dropped into my stomach. I couldn't even remember for sure which man I had been with around that specific time. My carefully constructed calendar of lies had finally betrayed me. I told Daniel first. He was overjoyed and started buying baby clothes immediately. Victor found out a week later. He lifted me off the ground and cried with happiness. That was when the real fear set in. Both men were convinced the baby was theirs. And biologically, either one of them could have been right. I tried desperately to keep them from ever crossing paths, but life doesn't respect lies forever. Victor insisted on being more present in my life. Daniel wanted to take me to more family gatherings. I was stretched thin, emotionally and physically, about to break. The baby came early, a beautiful, healthy, innocent little boy. But the confusion began right away. Victor would say the baby had his nose. Daniel would argue that the baby had his eyes. At first, it was just small jokes. Then it turned into arguments. And then suspicion started to cloud everything. The day it all exploded was the naming ceremony. I couldn't stop it anymore. Both families were going to be there. I was so tired of lying. I thought maybe, just maybe, things would calm down once everyone was together. They didn't. Victor arrived and froze when he saw Daniel holding the baby. Daniel looked at him and asked, "Who is this man?" Victor shot back, "I should be asking you that." The silence that followed felt like death. I remember my legs shaking. My mother's face went completely pale. I heard someone drop a plate. Then Victor said the words that destroyed everything. "This is my wife and my son." Daniel actually laughed at first. Then he turned and looked at me. I couldn't speak a single word. My silence was my confession. Chaos erupted. There was shouting, crying, insults, and threats. Both men demanded a DNA test. I had no choice but to agree. While we waited for the results, neither man would even touch me. They only spoke to me through their lawyers. I became invisible, except when they wanted answers that I didn't have. The DNA result finally came. The child belonged to Daniel. Victor completely broke down. But that wasn't the end of it. Daniel didn't celebrate. He just looked at me like I was something disgusting he had stepped on. Victor accused me of trapping him. Daniel accused me of destroying his family's name. Both of their families rejected me. My friends disappeared. Daniel filed for divorce immediately and took full custody of our child. Victor left town without even saying goodbye. And me, I was left completely alone. No husband, no child, no respect. The last time I saw my son, he was reaching for me, crying. Daniel pulled him away. "You made your choice," he said. "Now live with it." Those words still echo in my head every single day. I'm sharing this story as a warning. Secrets don't stay buried. Lies always get louder. And sometimes, the punishment is far worse than you could ever imagine. I thought I could control love instead. Love completely destroyed me.